The movie starts with a cool British voiceover, paired with a horrible quality animation. Let's just pause the movie here. 1 minute in and I have so many concerns. Like, why would they hide the poor animators' work behind these horrible VHS filters? Also, why does Peter Pan's face look like that? I know it's a horror movie, but it looks like Ellen DeGeneres with a crack addiction. Moving on, we zoom out to reveal a man reading a children's book to a dirty child. This is concerning. Where is the kid's parents? Why hasn't he been washed? Was he kidnapped? So many questions. We cut to a circus and everyone actually has really cool costumes, like Cotton Candy Man over here, or Mr. Ice Cream Head, or Melted Birthday Cake Man guy, I don't know. Moving on. We cut to inside the circus where we see acrobats before jumping to a shot of a mime who's dramatically standing in the center of the circus. Why do I feel like this is some weird Joker Peter Pan crossover thing? Please Lord help us if I'm right. The mime creepily points at a kid before presenting him with a balloon animal. A lot of creepy sound effects, otherwise not a lot of creepy so far. Like there's a lot of build up but no payoff at all. Anyway, we jump ahead again and now we're at the little boy's house. The boy is fast asleep and his mom seems to be ready to take a bath. Suddenly, the mime, who I presume is Peter Pan, pops up from the trapdoor in the floor. What? How do these people have a giant trapdoor in the middle of their living room? And worse, anyone can access it. Lady, if your kid gets stolen, that's on you. Peter rambles on about how he lost his mom. He says more stuff, but I'm way too distracted by the fact that he sounds like Pennywise. I mean, even his mannerisms. Now that I kind of think of it, this whole shot feels like it was ripped off from It, with Pennywise and Georgie in the sewer. Oh well, I regress. Just before Peter can steal the child, his mom finally shows up, fighting Peter off and saving her child. They run away, but then she decides to go look for Peter, which makes no sense. I mean, she's got a knife, but he's got the creep factor. Peter shows up and attacks the mom. She fights him off, stabbing him a few times, before he finally reveals that just like Pennywise, he has an angry demonic voice. Peter and the mom fight back and forth and he almost loses to her. Not very scary paranormal of you to lose to a soccer mom. Anyway, before he actually loses to the soccer mom, he somehow gains the upper hand and scalps her. He walks over to the boy and takes him to Neverland, I guess, I don't know. Welcome to Recap, where we break down our favorite movies and how they're made. My name is Deervolt and today we're diving into Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare, the twisted 2025 reimagining that takes a beloved fairy tale and drags it kicking and screaming into pure horror territory. Before we head off to this nightmarish Neverland, be sure to like, subscribe, and throat punch that bell icon, or Peter Pan might just murder your entire family in your sleep. So buckle up and leave the pixie dust behind, because this isn't your childhood Peter Pan. This is a brutal, confusing descent into madness. So, first things first, why does this movie exist? Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare isn't just a dark reimagining of a classic fairy tale, it's a gore-soaked mess that no one expected. Originally a whimsical story about eternal youth and flying kids, this 2025 version turns the story into a mashup of horror tropes that delivers violence and gore, but sadly nothing else. In a post-Five Nights at Freddy's horror boom, Neverland Nightmare joins the ranks of reimagined childhood IPs that go full slasher. With dreamlike visuals, disturbing kills, and a version of Tinkerbell that'll haunt your dreams, this movie takes everything you loved as a kid and corrupts it in the lamest way possible. The film hit theaters with a modest marketing push, but no one has spoken about it, and by watching this recap, you'll understand why. Whether you grew up with Peter Pan or not, Neverland Nightmare proves one thing. People should leave existing IPs alone. With a micro budget of just £250,000, the film transforms J.M. Barrie's beloved tale into a savage slasher nightmare. Peter is no longer the boy who refuses to grow up. He's a substance-abusing tweaker with a love for lost boys. Yikes. Released in January 2025, the movie earned $230,000 domestically and an additional $910,000 internationally, combining for a total of $1.2 million. That makes this low-budget shocker a solid cult success. Proof that twisted nostalgia still sells, even when it's this bad. In today's flood of fairy tale horrors, Neverland Nightmare does not stand out at all. There's no raw vision or any direction, just meaningless violence. But still, horror fans were ready for it. Before we dive into the nightmare, let's break down what this movie is really about and why horror fans were completely caught off guard. Neverland Nightmare takes the classic tale of eternal childhood and flips it into a dark, twisted horror story filled with shadowy characters, nightmarish landscapes, and relentless terror. While the idea of turning a beloved fantasy into a brutal horror flick might sound risky, this film doesn't commit to it at all, delivering one of the most stale reimaginings of childhood classics in recent memory. In this chilling retelling, Neverland isn't a magical paradise anymore. It's just a town, and Peter Pan, he's just a homeless junkie. With a nonsensical plot, barely any scares, and a mood that blends confusion with boring characters, this movie redefines absolutely nothing. But love it or hate it, Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare will be a movie you won't forget. We cut 15 years into the future, and we meet a new family. They seem kinda boring and I don't really have anything else to add about them. It's the emo looking one's birthday. I guess that's a bit less boring. More boring family stuff happens. The sister annoys her emo brother by singing happy birthday to him, and he also got a new bike and then she drives him to school. I don't know why any of this is relevant, but oh well. Emo boy's real name is Michael. Finally we cut to something creepy again. A lady is cooking heroin over a candle. Wait, what? Is this a Peter Pan Trainspotting crossover now? Oh wait, it's not heroin, it's pixie dust. Sure. We cut to the older sister working at a hair salon while chatting to her friends / co-workers. Yeah, more boring, meaningless conversations. Suddenly we see Peter Pan entering a costume store. He finds a mask, talks to it, and then puts it on. The mask kinda looks like the one from Black Phone. For real, the movies from this company / director all just feel like a mashup of other properties. But they don't do it in a way where it seems like they're paying homage. It just seems like they're stealing other people's ideas. Like, why not just own it, like Scary Movie or something? You're not fooling me. I know my movies, boy. Oh yeah, Peter Pan stabs the store clerk violently in the neck. They probably only accepted credit cards. We cut back to the emo boy, Michael, chilling with his friend, or maybe his boyfriend. The plot thickens. The older sister gets jump scared by her boyfriend. He looks like he smells like cheese. We spot a van with a Neverland bumper sticker. This probably isn't good. Cut to Michael riding his bike home through a forest. Someone set up a wire trap and emo boy goes flying. As he gets up, he spots the Neverland van. Yep, he's definitely getting kidnapped. Happy birthday, Michael. Peter shows up, grabs Michael and throws him into the Neverland van. Weird compliment, but Peter is really efficient at kidnapping kids. Like, look at that speed and precision. He's definitely done this a million times. The older sister is still outside the school and she is worried about Michael. So worried, in fact, that she lights up a cigarette. Don't smoke, kids. We're back at Peter's house and he has prepared a nice little tea party for Michael. How nice. How thoughtful. Peter finally reveals his face and he kinda looks like a stunt double for the Phantom of the Opera. Like, bad scar, dude, but I've seen worse. Peter rambles on about philosophy, and at this point, he more seems like a schizophrenic homeless guy than a mythical boy fairy guy. Back at Michael's house, and his family is worried sick. They even recruited a single police officer with a laptop. The older sister thinks her brother went missing because she spoke to her boy toy for 5 seconds. I feel like at this point, the movie is just pulling at dramatic straws. Next, the family gets a phone call, and Peter tells them not to worry about Michael and that he's taking him to Neverland. Back to Michael, and he's kinda just chilling, looking emo as always. Peter shows up and says they should play Marco Polo. Michael reluctantly plays along, getting off his floor mattress and exploring the creepy house while nervously saying Marco. Michael stumbles into a weird mannequin-filled costume room. Instead of escaping, he just looks around. I mean, the costumes look cool, but think about your safety. Finally, Michael understands his mission and tries to open a window. He ends up breaking a bunch of glass items and then just chills there for a while. It's like he wants to get caught. I mean, he didn't even put up a fight earlier when he got kidnapped. Anyway, jump scare. And then Peter shows Michael photos and tells him he's special. Sorry to break it to you guys, but I think Peter Pan is a nonce. A PDF file if you must. We're back with the older sister. She's dramatically staring out a window as it rains while she chats to a friend. Super lo-fi girl vibes. The mom shows up looking like a wet raccoon. She blames the older sister for the disappearance and it makes no sense. Michael is definitely old enough to walk to his sister's car outside the school without getting kidnapped. But he decided to bike home and now everyone else is getting the blame. The sister's friend tells her that it's not her fault as they drive to someone else who can help. Apparently, they've also experienced something similar. I thought it might be the kid from the start of the movie, but nope, it's a different kid that we don't care about. The dad tells us how his son got kidnapped and that he also got a call. Also, it seems like Peter only kidnaps queer boys, which is an interesting detail, I suppose. We cut ahead and see a school bus driving down a scenic British route. Oh no, it's Peter and the Neverland van. He's pretending to be broken down. Anyway, he stabs the bus driver. Side note, this mask paired with the van, it's literally just a ripoff of Black Phone with Ethan Hawke. This movie isn't even creative with its stealing, it's just blatant and lazy. Peter steals the entire school bus of children, and we cut to Tinkerbell, the opiate fairy, meeting Michael. And what the fuck? This movie is just a weird mess that has nothing to do with Peter Pan. Apparently, Tinkerbell was the first victim, and they have total Stockholm Syndrome. They believe that they're special, and that they're an actual fairy. Okay then. I guess the most paranormal thing about this movie is the fact that Tinkerbell is old as shit, and Peter, he's still young enough to stab people and steal children by the busload. Makes no sense, but oh well. The older sister's boyfriend shows up and tells her that all the kids from the bus were murdered and left in a field. Jeez, that's dark. And knowing this movie, it's dark for no reason. Because in this movie, we just do things for no purpose. Nothing exciting happens for 10 minutes, then we cut to Peter having drug-induced hallucinations. This man isn't magical. He's just a schizophrenic junkie with a facial scar and a love for young boys. This is the wrong type of dark movie, people. Peter kisses Tinkerbell and then hits her. And it just keeps getting weirder. Peter is now outside Michael's boyfriend's house. He tries loosening a window before just entering through a completely different, already open window. It's like the filmmakers didn't even care about making a good movie. Anyway, Peter stabs the sister's friend and then her dad. The older sister tries to hide under the bed. Like, under the bed is a hiding spot you stop picking when you're 9 years old, because you know it's the first place everyone looks. But surprise, she's not under the bed. She's actually outside, and then goes back inside. So let me get this right. Instead of just getting out of there, she goes back to where the murdering psycho is. Peter upgrades his MO to suffocating the best friend's mom with a bag and duct tape. Not very magical or creative. Anyway, Peter Pan in this movie just feels like the villain in a CSI or SVU episode. We move on to Peter leaving and the older sister is following him. It's literally just their two cars on the road. How is this man not seeing the car following him into the middle of nowhere? He's great at stealing kids, but terrible at being aware of his surroundings. Peter takes off his shirt, revealing a pentagram. Great, now Satan is involved. Peter also takes off his pants and shows us his bare pans. I don't know. He also doesn't have a pee-pee. Peter Pan, more like Ken doll. So it turns out Peter just wanted to bring Michael and his boyfriend together so that they can watch each other die? Okay then, I'm done questioning this movie's mess of a plot. Anyway, let's speedrun this. The sister sneaks into the house, she meets Tinkerbell, she finds Michael, Peter shows up, Tinkerbell looks guilty as fuck, Peter Pan smokes a cigarette. Okay, edgy boy, calm down. Peter offers Tinkerbell more pixie dust. The older sister's phone goes off with like a million messages cause, you know, she snuck into a murderer's house and left her phone on charge while she explored. What the hell, lady? This isn't a slumber party at your friend's house. Moving on, Peter breaks into Michael's room. The sister hides, and when the time is right, she hits him over the head and they make their escape. Tinkerbell tries to stop them, but the sister convinces her to let them go. Peter breaks both Tinkerbell's arms before chopping them off. It's cool, but like, why? Nothing in this movie feels like it was done with purpose. It's all just here for the sake of being here. The older sister helps Michael's boyfriend escape. She then finds a photo of the boy from the start of the movie. Then bam! Jump scare from a kid with a hook for a hand. Really? Is this supposed to be Captain Hook? He looks like Marilyn Manson with eczema. Oh well. Peter and the older sister fight back and forth. She pokes his eyes, he bites her finger. It's almost like a really messed up rom-com. Tinkerbell is still somehow alive. 0 arms but 100% life force. Never mind, Peter crushes her skull under his foot. The sister injects Peter with enough pixie dust to kill an elephant or inspire a guitarist in the 80s. Peter somehow survives and just keeps coming for poor Michael. Just as Peter is about to strangle Michael to death, the older sister Una reverse cards him and starts choking Peter. They fight back and forth until Michael finally stabs Peter before beating his head into a complete mush. But wait, Peter is still alive and doesn't look that bad. Never mind, Captain Hook steps out from the shadows, hooks Peter and disappears again as the police show up. Cut forward in time, I assume by a year because they don't tell us, but it's Michael's birthday again. Everyone is together and he doesn't look emo anymore. See, it was just a phase, Mom. The phone rings and nothing. But by the look on the sister's face, I assume it was Peter. The end. Roll the credits, no post-credit scene this time. So, is Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare a cinematic masterpiece? Not even close. Nothing feels like it was added with purpose. The movie just feels like a mixing bowl filled with movie tropes and cliches. From ripping off Pennywise to ripping off Black Phone, this is a mess of a movie with zero substance. But does it deliver relentless scares, twisted fantasy horror, and a dark reimagining of a beloved children's story? No. This is just another fairy tale retelling, another cash grab that does nothing for the fans but profit off them. Visually, the film plunges into nightmare territory, with shadowy forests, eerie shots, and grungy set designs that kinda hint at something sinister. But besides that, the movie falls completely flat. As far as the rating goes, we give this mess of a movie 2 cracked out Ellen DeGeneres out of 10. It was disappointing and it was not good. Which should say a lot because we love terrible movies and weird parodies. Anyway, Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare is boring, soulless, and not captivating. Let's hope we never get a sequel or that the studio/director starts writing better movies. But what did you think? Is this the new standard for twisted childhood classics? What should we recap next? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more movie breakdowns, be sure to like, subscribe, and roundhouse kick that like icon so that you don't miss the next episode. Stay sharp and remember, if some guy wants to take you to Neverland, kick him in his Tinkerbells and run away. Until next time, I'm Devils and this has been Recap.